Hello, this is Martin Lopez from SOEN, and you're listening to Sonic Perspective.
Hi, music fans. This is Rodrigo Altaf once again for Sonic Perspectives. This time we have with us Martin Lopez from the band SOEN. Martin, great to have you here with us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Well, SOEN has a new album to be released in a couple of weeks called Lotus. Tell us a bit about the album, the composition and recording process.
Well, the album was written, I think it took around 2 years, but that's what usually it takes for us to release an album. We recorded at the Ghost Ward Studios with David Castillo as a producer and Iñaki Marconi also producing a bit. Mm-hmm. And I think it's our best album to date. So it's a really good sounding album, and it's not easy to just do kind of do commercial for your own album, but mm-hmm. I think we've never been as happy as we are with Lotus, with any of the other albums.
That's great to hear, man. Great to hear. And the first single has come out, and it's called Martyrs. And I saw it a couple of times, actually, since it was posted. It's a very impactful video with the band members that dressed as drags. What kind of message are you trying to convey with that video?
I think, I mean, that's a bit of the issue with it. We just kind of went through different topics about what to do on the video. Mm-hmm. And when this topic came up, we just realized that it will be a discussion, and some people will be pissed off at it. Mm-hmm. So we automatically decided to do it simply because it's 2018, and if you get provoked and angry because 5 guys are dressing as women, you have to handle your issues quite fast. And I mean, and it's just because it's such an insane thing, and he actually provoked a lot of people. Mm-hmm. We're still receiving emails with people telling us, "I love your band, but I cannot listen to your music anymore because of that video." And it's so amazingly
Jesus
shallow and stupid that we cannot handle it, and that's what it is. A lot of people also having these conspiracy theories about us supporting a liberal agenda and this and that. And it's just fucking it's a music video. It's 5 guys dressing as women. 5 guys supposed to be us dressing as women playing a so-and-so.
Yeah.
I think that explains it, right?
Yeah, people read too much into it sometimes, I think.
People have too much time to be... I don't think people need more real problems to worry about.
I think
honestly.
So. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And, well, I'll be honest with you. I'm a metal guy, so I was grabbed instantly, of course, with the riffs of Martyrs, but the mellow part in the middle was even more compelling, to be honest. It's a very moody song where you explore different sides of the band, right?
We always look for balance in the songs, and I think that I always felt that to have a complete composition, you need to go through not all the emotions of a human, but at least many of them. And you have to have aggression, and you have to have calmness and beauty and sadness. Otherwise, it's just, I don't know, it always feels incomplete. Mm-hmm. So we put a lot of effort in that, and also into making those parts flow together.
I see. Well, to me, it's almost like the song summarizes who you guys are, in 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. So it's a great choice of a first single.
Thank you. I agree.
Yeah. And are you planning to do more videos for this release, and for which songs?
Yes, we got 2 more coming. We have a video for the song Lotus, mm-hmm. And we have a video for the song Covenant coming.
Oh, okay. And is there a common theme between the songs this time, or is there a common theme for the album or not?
Not really. Every track has a different story behind it, and lyrics are... I guess that the lyrics are a bit they're very personal, some of them, and some of them are just addressing the issues that we see, in society today, and we actually tried to say something of value, which we never go for I'm not interested in stories about princesses and dragons and all that. I try to talk about real stuff, and be honest about it.
I see. Well, and I have a confession to make. I don't know your discography in detail yet, but I promise I'll correct that as soon as possible. But the first impression I had when comparing it to some of the previous albums I listened to is that the guitars are a lot more in your face and crispier than in previous albums. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I guess that was the intention, right? I read an interview with the producer where he said, the guys just wanted the guitars to be in your face and loud this time.
Yes, we did. But the thing is that we had, we have a new guitar player also.
Cody.
Yes, the Canadian-born.
Oh, yeah?
He's from Ottawa.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sitting here in Toronto while I'm talking to you, so that's good to hear.
Well, close but not close.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge country. But,
yeah, it is, yeah.
But, we always had this vision of how SOEN should sound, and we never got there because we had guitar players who kind of, they had their own sound and they wanted to use their equipment and all this, and it always turned out that we never had that heavy, crispy sound you're talking about. So on this album with David and Iñaki, and just not having a guitar player when we started made it quite easy to say, okay, we're gonna use whatever you think we have to use to sound as heavy as possible. And then Cody came in. He just loved the sound and fucking did an amazing job recording the guitars.
Yeah, no, it was great. I think the songs I love the most in this release in particular are Opponent and Covenant, where I think he shines the most.
Yeah, I personally, I think he shines in the track Lotus a lot. It's my kind of guitar playing, yeah.
Okay, cool. And well, what I like about the band is that you're addressing dark themes, and it sounds very depressing and heavy on several passages, but Joe's vocals are very soothing at times, and I love that combination, that contrast. And I think it works especially well in this release. So congratulations to you for that.
Thanks a lot. I agree on that. There's this little cliche called the beauty in darkness, and I think that even if the music sometimes is dark and aggressive, just Joel has this kind of tone on his voice that makes everything okay.
Yeah. I don't know where that comes from or how he can make it, but he does. He pulls that off.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and well, at the same time, I don't know if you'll agree with me, but the band seems to be one of those that you have to listen a couple of times until it clicks. It was the case with me when I listened to the new album. So, and that is tough nowadays, considering that most people don't have a big attention span, right? They give 30 seconds to a song and then they switch. So, have you thought about that? I mean, it seems that a lot of people would miss out on checking out the band.
Yeah, definitely, but if you only have 30 seconds of your time to give a band the chance, it's just not. You're not the kind of guy we're aiming at with our music. Our audience is people who music lovers who don't see music as a background thing while they do something else, or as purely entertainment. We try to make music for people who actually want to get in there and explore music and just close their eyes and try to find everything there is to it, the whole composition. You have to have some kind of intelligence in music to be interesting enough, I think, and that's the kind of music I like to listen to, and that's the kind of music I make, and hopefully. If you think that music is important enough to really give it a chance, you will listen to the album a couple of times and get into it. Otherwise, listen to something else.
Yeah, go listen to
Yeah.
Justin Bieber or something else, Katy Perry
Yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
there's many choices.
yeah. Well, another thing I noticed that you never put the band's name on the cover, and that has changed with the previous album. But now you decided to go back again and not have it on the cover. Is there a reason for that, or?
We never had, I think, not in the. I think maybe they did, but like in the first press, we never have the album. I think it just destroys the cover, because you have this talented artist making an amazing cover for you,
Some
and then
words
you
in
go
there. Yeah.
yeah, and then you go and put your logo because you want to sell a couple more albums. So we kind of have that fight every time with
The record company.
with the people who want to sell the records,
Yeah.
and but you know it's just unfair to an artist that puts all the time they need to put into making a great covers as the last one,
Yeah.
to just go there with your little logo,
Yeah.
and ruin it. Yeah.
Well, and what does the new cover represent? I noticed you always had figures on the covers, a rhino, a skeleton, the wolves, and now you have the moon cycles on Lotus. What is the meaning of that cover?
This cover is this is the first time that we actually that the cover is made for the album.
Oh, okay.
Before that, we have found covers that we liked, and we took it from there. But this time we were in touch with this amazing artist called Vrilia, and told her the whole story behind the lyrics, everything, what we wanted to address, and she kind of put her words into symbols and came up with this beautiful and really, really mystically and spiritually charged cover that has a lot of meaning. So it's up for everyone to look at it and kind of realize by themselves what they think we mean.
Okay. And let's talk about the title track for a bit. I think it has a bittersweet feel to it. And, I think that feeling is translating to the lyrics, which seem to talk about growth and change. Am I right in that assumption, in my interpretation at least?
Yes, you are. I think that track it's just a very, very, very honest lyric. There's no hidden messages or anything. It's just something that felt real and something that kind of needed to come out. And just by listening to the track, the words started coming out, and it's just addressing that issue that we kind of have gone too far from our roots, and who we are as human beings, just from the animal that we actually are.
Yeah, interesting. And do you write the bulk of the lyrics, and what comes first when you're writing an album? The lyrics, the music?
Music. Sometimes music and lyrics at the same time, but for the most it's music, and then we start putting words to all the vocal lines. Okay. And I write lyrics, and Joel mainly, and Lars and Stefan have written some lyrics for this album too.
I see. And well, it's your fourth album, and I see a change in your status already. While the other albums were admired and recognized, this one I think is awaited. Do you see that change as well in the growth in the interest in the band, or not?
I'm not aware that much of what's going on, but I heard that tickets for the tour are really going great, and that they're moving us to bigger venues. So it seems like something is happening, which is very welcomed.
Well, 4 albums in, are you at a stage now where you think you achieved what you wanted when you started the band in 2012, or not?
No, but I don't think I will ever achieve it, because the plan is to write the best album ever, and that never happens.
Were you planning on writing The Number of the Beast then?
Well, or The Wall, Pink Floyd for me. Well, yeah. No, the whole idea behind the band is to write the best music possible, and that's what it is. And this album is better than the last one, but now we need to write a better one again.
Yeah, up the game.
So it's just like chasing the impossible.
Yeah. And is there something you miss in particular about being in Opeth or Amon Amarth, or not?
No, not at all.
No?
I'm really happy where I am now, and and it's not only a thing about music, it's a thing about being in charge of your life and being able to decide when you want to go on tour or not, or if you want to be a father or if you want to be a musician, what's more important. There's a lot of choices. Being a musician at this level it's really tough. There's a lot of decisions you have to make where a lot of people are involved, and I love music, but I don't love being a touring musician, and I don't really need anything else than making music and being around people that I love. That's pretty much what I tried to accomplish, and I have with SOEN.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's another side with SOEN that's different from Opeth and Monomarth, where this is more like your band, where you make decisions and business decisions as well, right?
Yeah, well, business decision. Mainly, I think that I'm able to express myself and make my music, which has always been the plan for me. I'm a drummer, yes, but I want to write songs, which both in SOEN and in Opeth and Monomarth, there was a little room for it, but it was, it's Mike's band and it's Ollie's band. And that's guys that I really respect, but I also wanted to do my thing, and I think that also with the musicians that I play with, we're friends. We're friends, and we support each other, and we try to tour so that everybody feels okay with it. We all have families and we have priorities. It's tough to be a professional band and try to make money if you have other priorities in life. So.
Yeah, of course. And well, at some point you had Steve DiGiorgio with you on bass in the band, and he's very much in demand. Was there ever a chance of him becoming a permanent member of SOEN or not?
He was. I mean, he was, because when we made the first album, we just kind of just wanted to make an album without any bigger plans. Just make an album because I had all these songs, and Joel had all these ideas. So I called Steve because I know him from before, and he's just amazing, and I've been following since I was a kid, and he was my idol. So I called him in, and he was a part of the band, and he was a permanent member. But then when I wanted to write the second album, I met Stefan, and he was kind of my neighbor, and a great guy and everything. And I just talked to Steve and told him, all right, I want to write an album. I need to have someone to play with, and you're in the States and you have all these other bands. So, it's okay if we continue with someone else, right? And he completely understood it. And it's a great guy. It's a great person, and just there's never been any bad blood because of that.
Okay. Well, he has quite an influence on the newer sort of technical death metal bands, so he's a legend. That's why I asked him about it.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. And let's talk about your heritage here for a bit. Your parents are from Uruguay, and you migrated to Sweden at some point, right? And you did live in Uruguay for a bit.
I did. I'm born in Sweden.
Oh, okay.
But I moved to Uruguay when I was around 7. And then I came back to Sweden when I was 17. So I went to school and everything in Uruguay. So my roots are South American. Okay. I'm a bit of both. I feel at home in both places, and I feel as a stranger in both places too. It's quite hard to find an identity when you live in a country where you're supposed to look one way and you look differently. Even if you feel as a part, as a Swedish citizen, I know that I don't look Swedish. And at the same time, when I go to Uruguay, my Spanish is not as good as the other kids, and I'm a bit lost. So I also feel a little bit outside. But, I'm okay with it. I think maybe when I was younger, it could be a little bit more problematic for me. Now I have kids instead that are Swedish but look Uruguayan.
I see.
Must be a little bit even, a bigger identity problem. But But I love Uruguay and I love Sweden, and I hate Uruguay and I hate Sweden. It's all of the, I think I try to pick the best from both roots and somehow make the best out of it.
Yeah. And same with me. I mean, I'm Brazilian. I just told you that before we started the interview. And I'm Brazilian and I live in Toronto. And I try and see, when I'm in Canada, I only see the good side of Brazil. And when I'm in Brazil, I only see the good side of Canada. So it never ends, man. It never ends.
I kind of found some kind of balance with it. But mainly because I've seen people around me in Sweden, Uruguayan people that are constantly nagging about Sweden, and that pisses me off.
I see.
Because I love Sweden. Sweden opened the doors to my parents when they were being chased by the military in Uruguay.
Oh, okay.
And they Sweden have gave me the opportunity to be a musician and helped me, gave me a place to rehearse, and actually became a musician, the state, and a lot of opportunities, of course. So I have to be. My kids are Swedes. My wife is Swede. My band members are Swedes. So I love Sweden, but Uruguay also gave me something. They gave me a respect for brotherhood in having nothing. It gave me happiness throughout my youth without having anything else that t-shirt, food, and a pair of sneakers.
I see.
And I don't know if in Sweden you can be happy that way.
Right.
So there's something else in those countries also that we somehow had to get into this culture. That you don't need stuff. You don't need stuff to be happy. It must come from the inside.
Yeah, I fully agree. And, well, going back to SOEN, I know there's been a few shows already announced for March and April of 2019. The new album comes out on February 1st, right? And when can we expect to hear about the new tour dates?
We have, we're going on tour in September again. And then we're going to try to get over to North America early 2020, hopefully.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward for a day here in Toronto, man, and I hope we can catch up. All right.
Definitely. I mean, we were in Canada for I don't know, a month ago, and but sadly we didn't get to Toronto.
Oh man.
We played Montreal, Quebec, and Ottawa.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. Next year
Definitely.
or 2020, it's gonna happen.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time, man, and all the best with the new release.
Thanks to you.
Thanks,
you,
man. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. Once again, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this interview with Martin Lopez of SOEN. As always, we ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel just so you're up to speed with all our interviews and our Talking Perspectives podcasts. I also invite you to like us on Facebook and Twitter and check us out on www.sonicperspective.com. We're going to leave you now with SOEN's latest single, Martyrs, from their new album, Lotus. Take care and see you next time.
is all we need. Framed inside a system made to praise the tame. At least you